Captain Thaddeus Drake stood at the observation deck of Orbital Station Helios, watching as construction drones swarmed around humanity's most ambitious military project. The Sentinel gleamed under the artificial lights, its crystalline hull reflecting cascades of color across the shipyard. After 15 years of development, the most advanced warship in human history was finally ready for its maiden voyage. Impressive, isn't it? Admiral Winston Pierce approached from behind, his weathered face reflecting both pride and concern. Project Sentinel has consumed more resources than our last 3 fleet expansions combined. The investment will be worth it, Thaddeus replied, his dark eyes fixed on the massive vessel. At nearly 3 kilometers in length, the Sentinel dwarfed every other ship in the United Earth Fleet. But its size wasn't what made it special. It was what lay beneath its crystalline exterior. The ship's quantum core, powered by experimental dark matter technology, gave it capabilities that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Its neural network, integrated with cutting-edge artificial intelligence, could process combat scenarios faster than any human crew. The adaptive shield matrix could analyze incoming weapons fire and adjust its frequencies in real time. The Joint Chiefs are nervous, Winston continued, running a hand through his silver hair. Some say we're pushing too far, too fast. That we don't fully understand the technologies we've integrated into that ship. Thaddeus turned to face his old mentor. They said the same thing about the first faster-than-light drives. Sometimes we have to take that leap into the unknown. And that's exactly why I recommended you for command, Winston smiled. You understand that the Sentinel isn't just a warship. It's humanity's insurance policy. Our deep space probes have been picking up strange energy signatures from beyond the outer rim. Something's out there, Thad. Something big. Before Thaddeus could respond, his neural implant chimed with an urgent notification. Chief Engineer Arena Patel needed him in the Sentinel's engine room immediately. Duty calls, Admiral, he said, straightening his uniform. The final systems check awaits. The journey to the Sentinel's docking bay took him past dozens of technicians and crew members, all preparing for tomorrow's launch. Each face carried a mixture of excitement and apprehension. They knew they were part of something unprecedented, something that would change the course of human history. Rena greeted him at the airlock, her usual composed demeanor replaced by barely contained excitement. Captain, you need to see this, she said, leading him through the ship's pristine corridors. The quantum core is displaying some unusual behavior. The engine room was a cathedral of advanced technology, dominated by the pulsing blue light of the quantum core. Holographic displays filled the air with streams of data, monitored by both human engineers and AI subroutines. Watch this, Rena said, inputting a series of commands. The quantum core's glow intensified, and the surrounding sensors erupted with readings. The core isn't just generating power, it's learning, adapting. It's like the ship is evolving. Thaddeus studied the readings, his mind racing with implications. Is it stable? More than stable, Rena replied. It's operating at 132% of projected efficiency. The neural network is integrating with the core in ways we never anticipated. This ship isn't just powerful, Captain. It's alive. The next 12 hours passed in a blur of final checks and preparations. As the launch countdown began, Thaddeus took his place on the bridge, surrounded by the finest crew in the fleet. First Officer Benjamin Hayes managed weapons control, while Navigation Officer Diana Chen plotted their maiden course through the solar system. All systems ready, Captain, Benjamin reported, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. Waiting for your command. Thaddeus took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. The Sentinel represented humanity's greatest achievement, but also its greatest gamble. They were about to unleash something unprecedented upon the universe. Begin launch sequence, he ordered, his voice steady. Let's show the galaxy what humanity can do. The Sentinel's engines hummed to life, its quantum core pulsing with ethereal energy. As the massive warship broke free from its orbital moorings, None of the crew could have predicted the true test that awaited them in the depths of space, or the price they would pay to prove that humanity deserved its place among the stars. 3 months into its maiden voyage, the Sentinel's sensors detected something unprecedented at the edge of the outer rim. First Officer Benjamin Hayes studied the readings with growing concern, his experienced eyes noting patterns that shouldn't exist in natural space phenomena. "Captain Drake to the bridge," he called through the ship's neural network. Within minutes, Thaddeus emerged from his quarters, already alert despite the early hour. "Talk to me, Ben," he ordered, taking his position at the command center. "We're picking up gravitational distortions," Benjamin explained, projecting the sensor data onto the main view screen. "They're moving against the natural flow of space-time. Whatever's causing them, it's artificial." Navigation Officer Diana Chen's hands flew across her console, refining the sensor focus. "Multiple objects, Captain. They're using some kind of propulsion system we've never encountered before. The quantum core is having trouble tracking them." The bridge crew watched in tense silence as the mysterious objects drew closer. Their shapes began to resolve on the view screen. Sleek, organic vessels that seemed to phase in and out of normal space. They moved with impossible grace, defying the laws of physics that humanity had built its understanding of space travel upon. "First contact protocol," Benjamin suggested, but Thaddeus shook his head. "They're running dark," he replied grimly. "No transponders, no attempt at communication. This isn't first contact. It's an advanced scout force." Chief Engineer Rena's voice came through the neural link. "Captain, the quantum core is reacting to their presence. Power fluctuations are off the charts. Whatever technology they're using, it's interfering with our systems." The unknown vessels suddenly accelerated, their motion blur leaving ghostly trails across the sensors. They were heading straight for the Sentinel. "Battle stations," Thaddeus ordered, his voice calm but commanding. "All hands prepare for combat. Let's see what this ship can really do." The Sentinel's crystalline hull hummed as its weapon systems came online. The quantum core pulsed faster, feeding power to the adaptive shields. But their mysterious visitors had no intention of engaging. Yet, the alien vessels pulled up short, arranging themselves in a perfect hexagonal formation around the human warship. "They're scanning us," Diana reported, her eyes widening at the readings. "Their technology. It's like nothing we've ever seen. They're not just looking at our ship, they're looking through it." A harsh, discordant signal cut through the ship's communications array. The alien vessels were transmitting data, not in any known language or code, but in pure mathematical concepts. The Sentinel's AI began processing the transmission immediately. "They call themselves the Novari," Benjamin announced as the translation appeared on his screen. "And they're claiming this sector of space as their domain. They're ordering us to withdraw immediately." Thaddeus stood from his command chair, studying the alien formation. "Send them our standard peaceful contact protocols. Make it clear we're willing to discuss territorial boundaries through diplomatic channels." The response came instantly. A surge of energy that rippled through space like a shockwave. The Sentinel's shields flared automatically, barely deflecting the attack. "That was a warning shot," Thaddeus said grimly. "But they deliberately calibrated it to test our defensive capabilities. They're not interested in diplomacy. They're gathering tactical data." The Novari ships began to move again, their formation shifting like a living organism. Each vessel seemed to ripple and twist, revealing weapon ports that defied human engineering principles. "Orders, Captain." Benjamin's hand hovered over the weapons controls. Thaddeus knew this moment would define humanity's first encounter with the Novari. His next decision could lead to peace or war. But as he watched the alien vessel's aggressive positioning, he realized the choice had already been made, not by him, but by these mysterious visitors who saw humanity as nothing more than an obstacle to their expansion. "Launch probe drones," he commanded. "Full sensor spread. If we survive this encounter, Earth needs to know exactly what we're dealing with." And Benjamin, power up the main gun. If they want to see what humanity's finest warship can do, we'll give them a demonstration they won't forget. As the probe drones shot out from the Sentinel's launch tubes, the Novari vessels began to glow with an otherworldly energy. The battle for humanity's future was about to begin, and the Sentinel would face its first true test in combat. But even as his crew prepared for war, Thaddeus couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter was exactly what the Novari had planned, and that humanity had just stepped into a trap centuries in the making. The battle began without warning. The Novari ships unleashed a barrage of quantum-based weapons that bent space itself around the Sentinel. The human warship's adaptive shields trained against attacks that seemed to come from multiple dimensions simultaneously. Shield integrity at 60%. Benjamin shouted over the neural network. Their weapons are shifting frequency faster than our systems can adapt. In the engine room, Rena worked frantically to stabilize the quantum core. The core is absorbing some of their attack energy, she reported. But it's not just raw power. There's information embedded in their weapon signatures. They're trying to hack our systems while they attack. Thaddeus gripped his command chair as another blast rocked the ship. Diana, analysis of their attack pattern. It's not random, Captain, she replied, her fingers flying over her console. They're systematically testing different areas of our shield grid, learning our capabilities. But there's something else. She paused, double-checking her readings. The space around us is changing. They're using their weapons to alter the fundamental properties of this sector. The Sentinel's AI flashed an urgent warning across all displays. The Novari weren't just attacking the ship, they were creating a pocket of altered space-time, a trap from which even the advanced warship might not be able to escape. Engineering, give me options, Thaddeus commanded, watching as the alien vessels continued their precise dance of destruction. The quantum core is reaching critical resonance. Rena's voice was tense but controlled. We could try to match their frequency manipulation, turn their own space-time distortion against them. But it's risky. We'd be pushing the core beyond its tested limits. A direct hit from one of the Novari ships sent cascading failures through the Sentinel's port weapons array. Emergency bulkheads slammed shut as sections of the crystalline hull began to crack under the strain. We're out of time for caution, Thaddeus decided. Rena, begin core resonance procedure. Benjamin, plot firing solutions for all remaining weapons. Diana, I want every scrap of data about their attack patterns fed directly to the eye. The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, but the Novari pressed their advantage. Their ships moved with impossible coordination, each attack perfectly timed to stress the Sentinel's weakening defenses. Core resonance approaching critical threshold, Rena reported. Captain, if we do this, there's no going back. The core will either stabilize at a new power level or we'll tear ourselves apart. Thaddeus finished. Understood. But if we don't try, we'll never make it back to Worn Earth. He opened a ship-wide channel. All hands, brace for emergency core procedure. May fortune favor the bold. The quantum core's steady pulse became a rising crescendo as Rena pushed it beyond its design specifications. The ship's neural network lit up with warnings, but beneath the chaos, something extraordinary was happening. The core's artificial intelligence was learning, adapting, evolving in real time as it faced this unprecedented challenge. Energy signatures are shifting, Diana called out. The core is matching their quantum frequency patterns. It's actually predicting their attacks before they happen. The Sentinel's weapons came alive with new purpose, its energy beams precisely tuned to the fluctuating space-time distortions. One Novari vessel took a direct hit, its organic hull rupturing as the quantum-enhanced blast tore through its defenses. But the aliens weren't finished. The remaining ships suddenly aligned in a new formation, their combined energy building toward something devastating. The space between them began to twist and fold, reality itself buckling under the strain of their combined power. They're creating a quantum singularity, Benjamin warned. If it collapses, it'll take half this sector with it. Thaddeus watched the tactical display, his mind racing through options. The Sentinel's enhanced weapons could potentially disrupt the singularity, but firing into that much concentrated energy could trigger an even worse catastrophe. The ship's AI suddenly projected a new solution, one that seemed impossible, yet the quantum calculations suggested it could work. They could use the core's resonance to ride the edge of the singularity, using its own gravitational force to slingshot them to safety while redirecting the collapse back at the Novari fleet. It was a maneuver that no human ship had ever attempted, requiring split-second timing and perfect coordination between the core, the AI, and the crew. One mistake would mean instant destruction. "All hands," Thaddeus called out, his voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "What we do here will be remembered. Whether we succeed or fail, we show these Novari that humanity doesn't back down." He turned to his bridge crew. "Begin singularity slingshot procedure. Let's show them what the Sentinel can really do." Time seemed to slow as the Sentinel approached the quantum singularity. The ship's crystalline hull gleamed with ethereal energy as the quantum core pushed beyond all known limits. Captain Thaddeus Drake felt the weight of every life aboard his vessel, every hope humanity had invested in this revolutionary warship. "Singularity approaching critical mass," Diana reported, her voice steady despite the tremendous gravitational forces buffeting the ship. "We have 30 seconds before total collapse. Core resonance at maximum," Rena called through the neural link. "The AI is calculating the exact trajectory we need. We'll only get one shot at this." The Novari fleet maintained their formation, seemingly confident that they had trapped the human vessel. Their arrogance would be their undoing. As the singularity's pull intensified, the Sentinel's quantum core began to pulse in perfect harmony with the space-time distortions. "All hands, this is the captain," Thaddeus broadcast. "What we attempt here has never been done before, but this ship was built to push the boundaries of what's possible. Trust in each other. Trust in the Sentinel." Benjamin's fingers danced across the weapons console, preparing for the split-second timing they would need. Weapons locked on all Novari vessels. The AI has plotted intercept courses accounting for gravitational lensing. 20 seconds to singularity collapse," Diana announced. The ship's neural network hummed with activity as the AI coordinated every system. The quantum core's resonance reached its peak, matching the exact frequency of the singularity's event horizon. "Now," Thaddeus commanded. The Sentinel surged forward, its enhanced engines pushing against the tremendous gravitational forces. For a moment, it seemed as though the ship would be torn apart. Warning signals blared across every console as the hull strained under forces it was never designed to withstand. But the quantum core held. The AI's calculations proved perfect. The Sentinel rode the edge of the singularity like a surfer catching the ultimate wave, using the gravitational forces to accelerate beyond any speed its engines could achieve alone. "Fire everything," Thaddeus ordered. The Sentinel's weapons erupted, each shot curved and amplified by the singularity's warped spacetime. The Novari ships, caught off guard by the impossible maneuver, had no time to react. Their formation broke as multiple vessels took direct hits, their organic hulls rupturing under the quantum-enhanced barrage. As the Sentinel completed its slingshot maneuver, the singularity began its final collapse. But now, the Novari fleet was caught in their own trap. The gravitational forces they had helped create turned against them, pulling their damaged ships toward oblivion. "We did it," Benjamin breathed, watching as the last Novari vessel disappeared into the collapsing singularity. "They never expected us to use their own weapon against them." The bridge crew erupted in cheers, but Thaddeus remained focused. "Damage report. Hull integrity at 40%, Rena reported. The quantum core is stable but operating at reduced capacity. We'll need extensive repairs, but we'll make it home. And we have something even more valuable," Diana added. "The sensor data from this encounter. We know their capabilities now. We can prepare." Thaddeus nodded, studying the tactical readings. The Novari had underestimated humanity's newest warship, but more importantly, they had underestimated the human spirit. The Sentinel had proven itself beyond anyone's expectations, but this was just the beginning. "Set course for Earth," he ordered. "Maximum sustainable speed. The Joint Chiefs need to know what we're facing." He paused, looking at his exhausted but proud crew. The Novari thought this ship shouldn't exist, that we were reaching too far, too fast. Today we proved them wrong. Today we showed them that humanity's place in the galaxy isn't determined by anyone but ourselves. As the Sentinel limped home through the stars, its quantum core pulsing with newly evolved power, Thaddeus knew that this victory would change everything. The Novari would return, probably with technologies even more advanced than what they had witnessed. But humanity would be ready. The Sentinel had blazed a trail into humanity's future, proving that even the impossible could be achieved when innovation met determination. The ultimate warship had faced its trial by fire and emerged transformed. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, other Novari vessels would carry word of their defeat and of the human ship that had turned their own weapons against them. The next encounter would be different. The next time, humanity wouldn't be the ones caught off guard. The war for humanity's future had begun. And thanks to the Sentinel and its brave crew, Earth now had a fighting chance.